You know, deep inside almost every modern factory, there's this invisible network. It's like a secret digital language that keeps our whole automated world humming along. Well, that language is called Profibus. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see why it is just so incredibly important. Okay, so to really get what Profibus does, you first have to understand what it replaced. Just picture the old way, right? For every single sensor, every valve, every motor, you had its own dedicated set of wires. A huge bundle of them, all running back to a central controller. I mean, it was a complete mess. A chaotic, super expensive, and error-prone web of copper. Now, look at the new way. Just one single streamlined digital cable, daisy-chaining from one device to the next. It's clean, it's efficient, it's smart. That is the revolution of the fieldbus right there.
All right, so here's the game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the big jump from analog to digital. Then we'll properly introduce Profibus, the lean athlete of the group. After that, we're going to pop the hood and see how it all talks to each other. Check out its two main flavors, and then the best part. We'll wrap up with the huge, real-world advantages this brings to the table.
So for decades, and I mean decades, this thing called the 4 to 20 milliamp analog signal was, well, it was the king of the castle in industrial control. It was simple, and man was it robust. But it had one big problem. It could only communicate one thing. Just a single process value. That's it. But the industry started demanding more. They needed diagnostics, they needed advanced settings, they needed a ton more data. And that need is what lit the fire for the big shift to these powerful digital fieldbus technologies.
And right at the forefront of this digital revolution, you guessed it, Profibus. This thing was developed back in the 90s, and it was engineered from the ground up to be this universal, one-size-fits-all solution for pretty much any kind of factory or process automation out there. And get this, we're talking well over 64 million installed devices, or nodes as they're called. So yeah, Profibus isn't just a player in the game, it is the leading fieldbus on the world market, period. And trust me, that kind of success doesn't happen by accident.
I just love this analogy. It hits the nail on the head. You've got older protocols, kind of like the pioneers, the granddaddies. But Profibus, it was designed for the modern world. It's lean, it's fast, it's been stripped of all the unnecessary baggage, it's totally optimized for speed, and it's built with all the smarts and flexibility you need for today's super complex automation.
So what's in the name, right? Profibus is short for Process Field Bus. Simple enough. But the words that really describe it are what matter. First, it's universal. You can use it almost anywhere. Second, it's open. This is huge. It means devices from hundreds of different companies can all speak the same language. No more being locked into one single vendor. And third, it's rugged. It's built like a tank to survive the tough life on a factory floor.
A really good way to think about this is to see Profibus not as one single thing, but more like a family. They all share the same core DNA, the same communication protocol, but they have different versions, each one tailored for a specific job. You've got one for high-speed factory work, another one that's super focused on safety for places like chemical plants. You get the idea.
Okay, so how does this whole network actually work? I mean, how do you get all these different devices to share one single cable without it just turning into total chaos? Well, let's pop the hood and take a look. The secret sauce here is a really clever system called a token ring. The easiest way to think about it is with a talking stick, right? There's this digital token, our talking stick, and only the master device that's holding it is allowed to speak on the network. So it grabs the token, talks to all of its assigned slave devices, the sensors, the actuators, gets the data it needs, and then once it's finished, it just passes the token to the next master in line. It's a super simple but elegant process that makes sure nobody talks over each other. No data collisions, just nice, orderly, predictable communication.
But here's the thing. It isn't just orderly, it is also incredibly reliable. It's packed with safeguards. For instance, every slave device has a fail-safe timer. If it stops hearing from the master for any reason, poof, it automatically goes into a predefined safe state. Slaves can also raise their hand and tell the master, hey, I've got a problem over here. And on top of all that, every single message is checked for errors. The whole system is basically designed to be bulletproof.
All right, so we mentioned that Profibus is like a family. Well, it has two main members, or flavors, that you really need to know about. They're designed for very different jobs, and understanding the difference between them, that's crucial. They are DP
and PA.
First up, you've got PROFIBUS DP. The DP stands for Decentralized Peripherals, and this is the high-speed workhorse. Think fast-paced factory automation, like bottling plants or car assembly lines. It runs on a simple, tough wiring standard called RS-485 and can crank up to 12 megabits per second. It's all about speed. Then, on the other side of the coin, you have PROFIBUS PA for process automation. This is for places like chemical plants or oil refineries, environments where the processes are slower, but safety is absolutely everything.
And this is where PROFIBUS PA becomes a total game changer, especially for safety. Get this, it can deliver both power and data over the exact same two wires. But here's the genius part. The power level is kept so low that it physically cannot create a spark. This makes it intrinsically safe for use in places where there might be explosive gases or dust. For installation, this is a massive deal. You don't need all that expensive, heavy-duty explosion-proof conduit and wiring. The cost savings are just huge.
Okay, so we know what it is. We know how it works, but so what? What does this actually mean for a real-world project? Why should you care? Well, let's get to the good part, the payoff. The advantages kick in right from day one, during the installation phase. I mean, you've got way less wiring to deal with. That means slashing your material costs and getting things assembled much faster. And here's a simple truth. Fewer connection points means fewer chances for things to go wrong. It's just a cleaner, faster, and more reliable build right from the get-go.
Next up is commissioning. You know, the part where you actually get the plant fired up and running. With PROFIBUS, one single technician sitting comfortably in a control room can set up and test over 100 devices in a single day. Think about that. Gone are the days of needing a whole team running around the plant, checking every single instrument one by one. You just download the settings remotely. There's none of that tedious old-school analog calibration. The amount of time you save is it's huge.
And the benefits don't stop there. They keep paying off for the entire life of the plant. Because these devices are smart, they're constantly feeding back all this rich diagnostic data. This lets you do what's called predictive maintenance, basically fixing small problems before they become big, expensive shutdowns. Your technicians can troubleshoot problems from the control room, which saves them countless trips out into the field. And that's not just more efficient, it's a heck of a lot safer too.
So, when you put it all together, it's pretty clear that PROFIBUS is so much more than just a purple cable or a techie protocol. It's a universal language. It's what allows thousands of different devices from hundreds of different companies to all work together as one. And in a world that's getting more and more automated every single day, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Is a universal language like this the real key to unlocking the next level of efficiency, reliability, and safety on the factory floor?